Hi, it's Dave Mattson, CEO of Sandler. Hey, today I'm joined with Kate Kohler, who is a co-owner of Staub and Associates up in York, Pennsylvania. Now, Staub and Associates has been with us for over 30 years. And so Kate is part of a family-owned business. Her dad, Ed Staub, had started the business. Matter of fact, I got Ed into the business way back when. So it's a real privilege and an honor to have a second generation trainer, franchisee, join us today. So Kate, thank you. So you're in York, Pennsylvania, which some could say around the US is a relatively small market.
Mm-hmm.
You're not by yourself. So can you tell us a little bit about how your model has really the ability for you to thrive for 30 years? You guys have done phenomenally well year after year. And so from the outside, people are always amazed.
Yeah, it's one of those things. York is a small county compared to the rest of, some of our franchisees, but I never forgot when Dad said, build relationships and keep them for life. And Dad stopped selling, cold calling, not selling, cold calling 6 months into the business. And that stuck with me. And I thought, if I can build relationships and more relationships evolve from those relationships, I don't have to cold call for the rest of my life. So we established relationships 30 years ago, and a lot of those people still come to the room themselves or their children or the people under them. So it was all about establishing those relationships and never giving people a reason to leave. So that is how we have kept our rooms full. We have, up until this COVID thing, we've never skipped a beat when we start our 9-week sales program over. We had to push it back a couple extra weeks this time, but our rooms are always full, and it's all about the relationships we established early on.
Well, I would have to say out of many franchises, your franchise has consistently stayed on the track, like not have been distracted by shiny objects that are here that go away tomorrow. You have a strong foundations program. How many people are in your typical foundations program?
Well, for our March session that was supposed to kick off on March 21st, we only had to push that one a week. We had 35 signed up. And a couple of those were repeats, but those repeats were rolling into sales mastery. So they were still paying. So yeah, we've had a strong base with in classroom training.
And I would say, just because I know, the 30 to 35 people in a foundations program is not unusual for you. You guys have always packed that room. Would that be fair?
We do as much as we can. Usually at the beginning of the year, January and March, those programs are bigger. Summer fizzles out, and we have a lot of repeat customers because we tell them, you're not getting the foundations program, you're not getting that, the first time you come through. So a lot of our customers, they'll come through for a year. They'll show up to our room every Tuesday, and they add so much. They bring such an impact to the people in the room because they're like, you grew that quickly in 2 months, or that's what you picked up and that's how you've changed already. So we have kind of a hybrid of veterans and new customers. That's why we think it thrives as well as it does.
Yeah, I love that combination. I've in the foundations program, when people ask questions, I always, when I was in foundations, tried to answer the question before the trainer. That's how I knew I was like getting it, right?
Yeah.
And then I would always be able to answer somebody else's problem, even though it was the same problem that I had, but I would have never given myself that advice. But when my ears heard what my mouth said, I'm like, maybe that'll work for me too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Absolutely. We love hearing, oh my gosh, what so-and-so said, it made such an impact that I'm dealing with that same thing. So at week 1, I tell everyone, hey, if you get something off your online tool or, from someone sitting beside you, and that's one of your biggest lessons you walk away with from the week, my feelings will not be hurt. I'm an I-10, I want you to learn wherever you can. That's why we bring content in so many different ways. So we love when our other fellow students teach lessons as well.
Yeah. If for you that are watching, if you want to impact people's lives, why don't you give us a call at 410-559-2033. or email us at franchising@sandler.com, and we can talk and decide if this could be your last career stop.